Good afternoon, Malacañang Press Corps. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson and Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, Salvador Panelo. Good afternoon, sir.
Magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat.
MPC questions. Ina? Microphone, please.
Hi, sir. Can you share with us more about your discussion with the President about him considering cutting diplomatic ties with Iceland?
Well, according to him, cannot even understand why Iceland is making that posturing. That Iceland has been doing that, I think, twice. Last year, ganun din ang posisyon niya. And the other year. Until now, he's in wonderment why Iceland is doing that. He can only speculate, or the two of us can only speculate that maybe some activist, either from this country or elsewhere, are feeding Iceland with the wrong information. And Iceland naman is so naive to accept everything that it hears or receives.
How serious, sir, yung pag-consider? I mean, is there a study now on how could cutting ties with Iceland could affect us? How serious is that yung consideration?
Well, he mentioned last night that he's seriously considering cutting diplomatic ties with Iceland. There are only about 2,000 Filipinos there. And as far as we know, there are no trade relations between these two countries except maybe on fish. Di ba fish ang kanilang main doon, di ba? We're not, hindi ako familiar doon. Tatanungin ko pa nga yung si Sec Lopez.
Is that to say, sir, that there will only be minimal effect to us if we do cut ties with Iceland?
Yeah, certainly. Not only that, we've been having trade relations with other countries. So I don't think cutting a relationship with one country would affect us.
Sir, yesterday you mentioned that maybe it's also time to review a relationship with the other countries that supported the Iceland resolution. Was that also tackled yesterday
No.
with the President?
No.
So it's just on Iceland?
Yeah, Iceland.
How about pulling out from the UNCHR? Was that discussed?
No, we did not discuss that.
Thank you, sir.
May follow-up question? Other issue? Joseph?
So how does the president feel about the other countries who signed the resolution?
He didn't say anything about it. He was more concerned on Iceland. Oh, by the way, he said that, because I asked him about the sauna this morning, he said, oh, it will be short.
Are we speaking relatively, sir?
Maybe because there are pre-saunas.
Correct. Last year.
So there are 3 pre-saunas already.
Yes.
Tomorrow there will be another one. And ordinarily the president will be discussing achievements of his administration on a particular year. And since the pre-saunas are already doing that, so I do not think the president will have to repeat that.
Any particular messages that he would like to focus on? He did mention before China, no?
Yeah.
The policy. Anything else, sir?
Wala, yun lang ang sinabi niya. He will, quote, educate those critics that say that he's violating the Constitution.
So yung China po will take up most of the SONA time, no?
Hindi naman niya sinabi. Sinabi niya, short lang.
Any time that she gave, like any
Usually,
amount of time?
pag short, 2 oras yun.
I think after 3 years, you know that already, sir. So, hindi nga. Wala naman siya, sir, sinabi na maybe
Wala,
like
yun
an
lang ang
hour.
exact words niya. Short lang.
Sir, we will count on that, sir. Ha?
Yeah, you count from the 2 hours, 1, 2, 3. Baka maging 3.
Alright, sir. Yun pong sa Iceland, seriously considering lang.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
that doesn't sound like a decision yet, no?
Wala pa. Sige, exact words niyan. Kagabi yun.
What would push him over the edge, sir? I mean, cross the line.
Let's see. Mamaya, we will be discussing it na siguro.
Sir,
Sa Iceland. Iceland muna. Rose.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Rose.
Hi, sir. Good
Secretary
afternoon.
Boy.
Sir, sabi ni
you're
PNP
next
Chief.
on
Sabi
the
ni
list,
PNP
on the
Chief
hit list of
General
Joseph
Albayal.
Morong and Ina Andulong.
Sabi, sir, ni
In
PNP Chief
in the hit
Oscar
list for
Albayal.
invitation, what? All right, go.
Sabi ni PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde, posible raw may kinalaman yung CPP-NPA doon sa adoption ng UNHRC sa resolution po ng Iceland na imbestigahan yung human rights violations sa Pilipinas.
Bakit daw?
Hindi, ano yung reaction nyo doon?
Hindi, bakit nga
Naniniwala ba
daw?
kayo?
Anong basis niya daw?
Eh kasi raw may part daw po ng parang propaganda ng international arm ng CPP. Kasi sabi nyo rin kanina, di ba, posible may political activists na...
Yeah. Alam mo, konektado yun. Alam mo ngayon, ang mga organization, maraming links eh. So, maybe that's part of their program.
So may kautusan po ba o direktiba yung palasyo para palalimin yung ganitong angulo?
Hindi, wala. That was not mentioned.
So hindi nyo pa iimbestigahan?
Yeah, pinapabayaan na nga namin, di ba? Kaya mo na sila. We'll just do our best.
Pabayaan na, sir, ang alin?
Pabayaan mo yung paninira nila kasi yung sambay ng Pilipino, wala naman naniniwala. Kung may naniniwala man, siguro 1%, 2%, 3%. Sila lang yata rin yun eh.
So hindi na lang iintindihin ng Pilipinas, sir, yung resolution ng UNHRC?
Ah, hindi. Unang-una, hindi naman binding yon. Pangalawa, lalabing 8 lang. Walang simple majority.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, may follow-up nun? RJ.
Sir, when the president said that he is seriously considering cutting ties with Iceland, that means to say that there will be an official announcement whether we will be cutting ties with Iceland.
Oh, yes.
Are we waiting for that?
As I said, the words of the president is, I'm seriously considering cutting ties with Iceland. In other words, he's mulling over it. So let's see how it develops.
Did you ask, sir, what factors are being considered?
No, because the factors are confront us in the eyes. That's why I describe it as the resolution as being grotesquely one-sided, outrageously narrow, and maliciously partisan. Simply because it is based on false information and unverified facts and figures. And to our minds, it assaults the sovereignty of this country.
Thank you.
Maricel Halili. Then Raymond. Iceland.
We were, because, as we were discussing with the president, I think sovereign states should give due respect to each other. And if there is any concern on violation of human rights on the part of others, vis-a-vis the others, they should at least give formal communication to those subject of their concern as a matter of courtesy and civility so that we can properly respond.
Maricel?
Sir, just a clarification. Good morning, sir. Because
Good morning.
ay, good afternoon na pala.
Oh, afternoon.
Sir, sir, you mentioned earlier that the president is seriously considering the idea of cutting ties with Iceland. But in a tweet by Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Locsin earlier, he mentioned that we're not severing diplomatic relations with any country. If we did, where's the conversation? How do you insult those who insulted us if you cut them off?
Wala namang contradiction doon. Kasi sinasabi niya, we're not severing. Wala pa naman eh. Maling over pa nga eh. So where's the contradiction? Maling pala nga, mauling. Not mauling in Rob and Meg. Mauling, thinking over it.
But it seems, sir, if we base it on the context of the text of the tweet, I mean, of Secretary Locsin, parang final na yung sinasabi niya na we're not cutting ties.
Members of the cabinet's words can never be final. They are all subject to change without prior notice by the chief architect and the chief of staff. The commander-in-chief of the armed force. In other words, he's the president. We're just alter egos. My job is to express his thoughts in the manner he wants it, according to him. And the other alter egos is to convey to the people the messages of the president based on the policies of the president, which he told us at the inception of his presidency. Because since he gave us carta blanca with respect to our terps and territory, we are therefore entitled to express our opinion based on what we thought to be consistent with the policy of the president. But if the president says this is the policy, then we have to toe the line.
Okay. Sir, one more thing. Secretary Locsin also mentioned that UNHRC vote is a small and harmless matter. Do you agree to this, sir? Is it really a harmless matter?
With respect to what? Did he mention anything?
We're staying in UNHRC as a pedagogical duty to teach Europeans moral manners.
Maybe with respect to the votes garnered, there is no significance. Only others are, especially the critics and detractors, are giving importance to the adoption of the resolution. But if you analyze the 47 countries with more than half of them not joining the proponent, then it shows that's insignificant.
Meaning, sir, you don't see a big implication, especially on the image of the Philippines?
The image, no,
Yes.
definitely not. Because we've been saying it's not even unanimous. It's not even a simple majority.
Thank you,
But
sir.
at the same time, we are reacting because you cannot do that to a fellow sovereign state.
Raymond Tinasa.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, with
Yeah.
the Iceland resolution, which was siyempre adopted by UNHCR, do you consider now reviewing yung some cooperations between Iceland and the Philippines, especially in the areas of geothermal, mining, maritime? For example, the existing contract of the Biliran Geothermal Incorporated and other investments of Iceland in the Philippines.
Ang pagkakala nga namin, walang trade relations eh. Hindi ko alam yung sinasabi mo. We'll ask.
There are, sir, the economic relations of the Philippines and Iceland has been reinforced since 1999 and it has been going until now.
Well, assuming that there is, or there are, for as long as it's beneficial to us, then we will proceed with it.
So safe to
And I'm
assume.
sure the agreement would be beneficial to both countries because no country will enter into an agreement that is not also beneficial to it.
So safe to assume that these investments or cooperations are safe as we speak. And they will not be affected by the Iceland.
I think so. As I
resolution.
said, if it's beneficial to both countries.
Thank you, sir.
Last on Iceland, Joseph.
Sir, dun follow-up lang, no? Based on our website, meron, sir, investment sa Philippines yung Iceland dun sa Biliran Geothermal. And then also it employs our nurses, office and factory workers. Should we cut our ties with Iceland? How is this going to affect yung, at least the mga nurses and the factory workers?
Even, I don't think even if you cut ties with a particular country, if it benefits that country to be entering into a commercial agreement with one who cuts its ties, I don't think they will sever that relationship. It's only the diplomatic relations.
Meaning they don't have to deport our workers there, no?
I don't think they will.
Procedurally, sir, magtatanggal lang tayo. And what we have there is, I think, an honorary consul. It's a
Wala,
consulate.
wala man tayong embassy doon eh.
So tatanggalin lang sa consulate.
Eh kung makaabot tayo doon, wala pa naman yun eh. He's mulling over it.
Pero sir, was the president, how would you describe him? I mean, was he pissed? Was he, when he was discussing it with you?
Sa sinabi niya, I'm seriously considering
Galit
cutting
pa, sir?
ties. Hindi, ordinary yung boses.
Okay.
Other issue. Ace? Pia?
Sir, did you talk to President Duterte about FISGOC? Yung sa FISGOC, sir, did you discuss it with the President?
Which is SEA Games. Yeah, he said that he doesn't want the foundation. Gusto niya gobyerno.
Did he say why, sir?
Sabi niya maraming korupsyon dyan sa private. Kaya nasisira yung diskarte ng mga nandyan. Kaya gusto niya gobyerno na lang.
So, was the President able to talk to Congressman Cayetano
Ay, hindi ko
about
pa.
this?
I'm supposed to talk to him nga eh. Sabi ko, kausapin ko nga. I'll talk to him today.
So, will the President order the investigation of FISGOC because of these allegations of corruption, sir?
He didn't mention that, but as a matter of standard procedure, when there is corruption, supposed to be the agencies concerned in investigation, we'll have to delve into that without being asked by the President.
So, has has FISGOC been informed about the decision of the President? Will there be an executive order on this, sir?
Hindi ko. I'll ask him tonight about that.
And also, so last na lang, sir, what government agency will handle the preparations for the SEA Games?
I'll ask him that too. Kasi ang kalam ko si Cayetano dati. Pero kung speaker na siya, how can he do that?
Sir, is the President likely to involve pa rin si Congressman Cayetano on the preparations for the SEA Games?
Baka mahirapan na si speaker. Si Congressman Cayetano kung siya maging speaker. How can he even have time for that?
So you said, sir, that the President is concerned about yung allegations of corruption within FISGOC. Is this diminishing his trust with Cayetano, sir?
Hindi naman. Kasi Cayetano just entered recently. Kaya nga siya pinapasok dahil because of those allegations.
So he does not think that Cayetano is involved?
Oh, no, definitely not. Not this Cayetano.
Thank you, sir.
Ina Andolong. Microphone, please.
Sorry, I'm not sure if that already answered my question. When you said that the President wants, thinks na may corruption kasi kapag private sector, are you speaking
parang
in...
nabanggit yan, daming politika kasi dyan, yung pag-private.
Are you speaking in general terms, or is there a specific issue with the FISGOC that was raised,
No.
which is the reason why he decided to take it out
Yun
of
lang ang
FISGOC?
pagkabanggit niya. Marami dyan korupsyon, maraming politika kasi dyan. Kaya buti pa gobyerno na lang.
Generally speaking,
Generally,
yun, sir.
yun ang pagka-sabi niya.
Not specifically FISGOC.
No, wala siyang binanggit na piso.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Question? MPC? Joseph?
Sir, kanina po si former CJ Sereno was in a press conference. And
I didn't know that.
were you surprised?
She's
out in
back.
public? Yeah.
She's back with a vengeance.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Here's the question, sir.
Oh,
Sabi niya kanina,
Sabi niya,
basically nananawagan for a mobilization. Quote na lang, sir, para hindi na misinterpret, no? Quote, kung anong gusto mong ang alam ko lang, makikisa ako doon sa mga lumalaban sa demokrasya. Maaring dati hindi ako nakikita, ngunit hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ako magpapakita. Kaya yung mga hindi natin nakikita sa ganitong larangan ng pagkilos, magpakita na ho kayo. How do you interpret that in that statement, sir?
sama ako sa kanya kung lumalaban sa demokrasya dahil dapat talaga ipagtanggol natin ang demokrasya. But if she refers to those who are critics and detractors of the administration, meaning that she has not joined them for the last few months, well, I think the opposition will welcome her.
Joseph?
So, yun naman to,
While we will be amused watching her.
you're not, I mean, hindi naman threatened, sir. Yung
Oh, no.
maybe a tip of the
No.
iceberg of a bigger.
If she will join the opposition to exercise her freedom of expression, then by all means, we will egg her to do that.
Okay.
Tina?
Hi, sir. So, sir, yung CCJ Sereno statement, you don't see it as possible inciting to sedition?
No,
Say
naman.
he's just encouraging others to join, and she will be joining in light of talks of...
Baka naman she wants to join the rallies. Okay lang naman sa amin mga rallies against this government. In fact, it's the president who encourages that. Because under the Constitution, legitimate grievances against the government can be freely expressed. Ang problema, pag ano na, you perform acts which are seditious as defined by law.
Which are, sir? Which are?
Oh, like for instance, when you incite people to hate a particular public official, like the president, that's seditious. You incite them to not to follow the laws, that's seditious.
Thank you, sir.
MPC? Questions? Other issue? Wala na? Joseph. Okay,
So
Joseph.
15, 115.
Sir, yung sa yung Safe Spaces Bill, yung in layman's term, yung Anti-Bastos Bill, no? How do you think, is that going to be beneficial to the public first?
I think so. Sexist remarks kasi, sometimes, although not all the time, triggers reaction from the subject. And it will lead to conflict that might even lead to violence. So this law should benefit all, so that everyone should be cautious to make some sexist remarks that may be offensive to those who are more sensitive.
Everyone, sir?
I think so, yes. Oh, siya, pinirma niya. The fact na pinirma niya, ibig sabihin he agrees with that.
And therefore,
And
we
therefore,
will hear less of ano?
let's see. He's a man of surprises. Meaning he can surprise us, but suddenly he doesn't make any jokes.
Okay, no more questions? Henry? No more?
So, sir, ibig sabihin,
Follow-up.
is that the president?
No, it's not. It's not the president. The call is coming from, I think, abroad.
Maybe your Chinese friend.
No, it's from the
Or
States.
from Iceland.
Anyway, another question.
Sir, ibig sabihin, sir, this presidente hindi safe din dun sa penalties dun sa ano.
Since
Safe
the president
spaces.
signed that law, it means that he recognizes the need for that law. And since he is the chief enforcer of all laws of the Philippines, he will be the first one to obey the law.
Questions to Celerina, sir.
Okay, no more questions?
What?
MPC? Raymond. Last na tayo kay Raymond.
O sige na,
Pinasa?
pupunta pa ako ng airport. Kamalate ako.
Just to set the record, sir, hindi naman siya...
Yes, what?
Yung signing of the law, yung bawal bastos bill, hindi naman siya antedated kasi April 17
Ay, teka muna. Unang-una kasi, you assume that the president is bastos, naging bastos. He never was bastos. When he cracks jokes, it was intended to make people laugh, never to offend. If you will just listen to the jokes of the president, talagang matatawa ka eh. Matatawa ka. Audience, di ba? They give a hearty laughter. Hindi naman bastos. Iba kasi yung pambabastos. You women should know that. Iba ang dating ng bastos saka yung nagpapatawa lang.
Wait, use the microphone.
Yes, sir, kasi parang,
Parang-
may lumabas na noon na that lapse into law kasi hindi naksyonan daw ng Pangulo. Tapos eventually lumabas na April 17 signed. So, hindi naman siya antedated na parang pinalabas lang na signed on April 17. Hindi, ang tagal eh. Ano na ngayon? July 16 na.
No, basta sa akin, what is important is he signed that into law.
Hindi naman siya nahirapan.
Otherwise, di sana binito niya. Kung ayaw niya yon.
Okay, Ina? Last
You will be
question.
surprised, ha? This president reacts violently, or negatively rather, to people who offend women. Maano ito sa babae? Mahal na mahal niya nanay niya. Magalang sa mga girls. Magalang siya. Nagpupo nga yan sa lahat ng ladies eh. Puro ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Sir,
Lalo na kay Ina ang dulong.
Sir, with you saying that when the president gives out those sort of jokes, you say it's not meant to offend, people laugh at it. Obviously, that's not the case for all. You know, I mean, some women really take offense in such remarks. It's not a laughable issue for them. These statements that you're saying, don't you think that runs contrary to this new law? Kakasahin lang natin, and yet you're saying that
Teka muna,
there
ha?
are times that it's okay.
That particular law is penal in nature, meaning criminal in nature. In other words, the subject offended party must be offended personally by an offender.
Yes.
Pero kung general na nagkikwento, ma-open ka, paano mo sasabihin na ikaw ang tinutukoy nun? May problema ka doon. How can you even charge him with what? How did I offend you?
Okay.
Did I refer to you? O, paano ka na? Dismiss ka agad yun. Kailangan personal yun eh. Crime is personal to the offender.
Okay. So what you're saying is the president could still, I mean, we shouldn't be surprised if the president continues giving
yeah.
out those remarks in
Sa-
speeches.
Kasi naman, when the president delivers a speech and then he shares stories about that, meron siyang intention either to make you laugh or to make a situation more pronounced, to convey a message in relation to that anecdote.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
RJ, mukhang wala ka yatang tanong ngayon, RJ. Pati si Bernadette, di ko na naririnig ang boses. Marami. Si Chona. Si Henry, kanina pa siya nagtatanong on air, kaya tahimik na siya ngayon.
Okay, no more
Oh,
questions.
by the way, sabi ko nga pala kagabi sa aking short speech or talk even. Sabi ko doon. Kasi sabi doon, ang DCRH daw ang number one. And I said, I agree. I agree simply because they have all the stations all over the Philippines, wherever you are, DCRH lang ang meron. Kaya ako, pag gusto kong makarating sa buong Pilipinas, any information, ang hinahanap ko si Henry Uri.
So,
Sino?
comment, Henry.
Sinong Bong? Who's Bong? Si Raymond. Hindi. Hindi,
Mag-comment ka, Henry. Microphone, please.
Henry, kita mo naman, nakaporma. Tingnan mo naman ang coat niya. Ang ganda.
Buong pagpapakumbaba ko pong ibinabalita sa inyo na sa katatapos lamang na AC Nielsen survey,
Number
sa
one.
buong Mega Manila, kami po ay number one. At sa buong Pilipinas, totoo po na kami po ay number one sapagkat kami rin ang tinaguriang Asia's largest radio network. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Hindi,
you.
alam mo kasi, ang kagandahan ng DCRH, kumisan, hindi naman sa pagano sa ibang istasyon, ha? Hindi siya bias. Hindi naaapektuhan yung komentarista ng kanyang personal bias. Hindi unlike ABS, CBN, yung bias ng mga komentarista nandun. Nakakalimutan na yung reporting na totoo.
Okay,
Mabuti na lang si Pia, ng ABS, okay.
Secretary, naka-live pa tayo sa PTV, Pia. Julie, question?
Sir, assuming, sir, you said na the president is not bastos, na he's just making jokes to make people laugh, kahit na medyo offhand yung remarks niya. Assuming na hindi nga po siya bastos, paano, at siya, bilang siya yung chief enforcer of the law, how does he plan to make an example of himself, especially while in public, na para ipakita sa mga tao na kailangan nyo sundin tong Safe Spaces Act na to? Does he plan to say tone down, or para lang pakita sa tao na ako nga sumusunod kayo pa kaya, di ba?
Yeah, gaya na sinabi ko kanina, the crime is personal to the offender and the offended party. Hindi naman niya ginagawa yun. Never siya nang bastos ng isang particular na tao. Kaya it does not apply to him.
So what will you say to people who might use him as palusot?
Hindi, kaya nga ni-educate na natin ang tao ngayon. The crime is always personal. You have to be personally offended by the offender. And you have to prove that you are the subject of that offensive demeanor by the offender.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, MPC. May follow-up? Last question na tayo kay Tina. Ha?
Sir, publicly the president has criticized and sometimes insulted Senator Laila de Lima. Is that a case of Anti-Bastos Law?
And threatening to release supposed video.
Or threatening to release supposed video of something?
No, I don't think that's a crime.
Without the consent of the victim.
Nalin.
You can't release any
Ina, use the microphone. Oh, sino na? Tina. Tina.
Sir, if in the future sa public speeches ng Pangulo, he will continue to attack the senator using not so pleasant words.
Ganito na lang.
Will it be a case
If
for
the
Anti-Bastos
president
Law?
commits any violation of any law, then any person can sue him for that violation. If you argue that, well, he is immune, well, you can always sue him after the presidency. No one is above the law, including this president, and he always tells us that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Secretary Panelo. Thank you, MPC.
Thank you.
Back to my studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.